Hey Spencer. I've only got 15 minutes of video time because of the way this program works. I'll try to be pretty straightforward and clear on the feedbacks. So overall, this is looking pretty good. I feel like the head turns are feeling a little linear. Like I'm not feeling it quite as much in the shoulders. I'm just feeling it mainly in the head. It's like a little bit more of that twisting in the spine. Maybe pull a little bit of it out of the head, and that would help. The other thing is the hand poses feel a little too rigid or a little too default. Like she still needs a little bit more loosening up on that and getting into. Even if it's a stressed out pose, those are a little too perfect. Like you just kind of have to loosen it up a little bit. I know the hands have not been skinned the best in the world throughout all this, so um, yeah, play around a little bit with how to make the head a little bit more subtle. And I think you're probably going to have to put some facial animation on this eventually, even if it's just shifting in between a couple of poses. Um, but overall, it's looking pretty good. Jump. Also, thank you for making these movies manageable sized. Um, that looks good. So let's watch it frame by frame. I think you could keep this leg extended just a touch longer before starting to pull up into it. Dude, that's just really... I'm really going to have to work on the skinning on this character, so I apologize again. Um, and so I think right here, it looks like you're rotating up on the shoulder, but I'm not seeing any rotation in the clavicle. So it feels like you've just rotated up on her shoulder, and you have to pull the clavicle up a little bit too, so you don't get this like really sharp change there. You kind of want it to feel a little bit more like it, sort of blends in because of the clavicle and goes up. And you actually can't rotate your arm. Like if this is the side of your body here, you actually can't rotate your arm up past this point without rotating from your clavicle because of the way your joints are built. You actually have um, I don't remember what it may be part of your clavicle, but it kind of locks almost at a 90-degree angle. So you really, if you get it much higher than that, you really need to rotate up the clavicle control to make that um, feel a little nicer. So we get a little bit that there. Some of that may be skinning, but um, yeah, dude, that's some weird lookingness going on there. So yeah, I may tinker around with that a little bit more. Um, so I really like the way the arms kind of umbrella out here, and I think that the weight is feeling really good on this. Weight and timing is feeling really good on this. So good work on that. So your run. This feels pretty good. Um, I can't tell what's going on here in the torso, but so yeah, I can't tell, but there's something going on in the rotation of the upper torso right here in her shoulders and our breasts are kind of seeming weird. So it feels like they're rotating with her hips. So like if we look at her from this angle, her torso is kind of like this, right, facing in this direction. And then I think it feels like her clavicles are maybe twisted and facing a little bit, twisted around this way to to sort of counter that, but I think you need to bend a little bit more or twist a little bit more from that center controller too to get just throughout the whole body a little bit of twist. So right now it kind of feels a little bit too much like all of her twisting is in her hips, I guess, that's what I'm trying to say. And so the last thing I would say is on the walk here. Let's look at it really quick. And did I open it more than once? I did. And so that's actually looking really good. The only thing I'd say on this is the hands again feel a little stiff. Maybe make those a little bit more casual. Maybe do a little bit with the face. There also feels to be a little bit of a popping in the hips, but that's very subtle stuff. This is a really good walk cycle. So maybe play around a little bit. If I look at the hand, it feels like it flips back before the arm gets there and then starts traveling. I'm looking at this hand here. So it feels like it kind of flips back before the rest of the arm gets there and then starts traveling forward there. And so you may want to make the hand kind of feel like it's dragging a little bit more. It's kind of that little dip in that it does right there that feels a little strange. But otherwise, this is looking really good. So keep up the good work on that one. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll be emailing out the grades here relatively soon, or the temporary grades. So talk to you soon. Bye.